Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Hey, Miss Jennifer. Happy Tuesday. Um, how is everyone? Hey, hope y'all had an amazing day. Steven, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, girl. Hey, Dr.Dashia is on. All right, let me bring my amazing guest on here. Let's see. I am super excited tonight. There she is. There's the
Hey,
hello, hello, hello. I am
how
so
are
excited.
you?
I'm great, girl. I am great. How are you?
I am good. I'm sharing.
Yes,
Let's see,
yes.
I'm going down
Thank
my
you.
list.
Thank you.
There we go.
Look, thank you so much for coming on here tonight. I really feel honored and just I'm grateful that you just allowed me to just bring you on here. I really appreciate that. I really do. Um,
Thank you for having me.
you're welcome. You're more than welcome. Um, I just want to get the stories out here. A lot of people constantly are asking and wondering, is it real? I just went to a women's conference event in Atlanta the weekend before last, I want to say, and they kept asking the people I were meeting. They heard about the products, they heard about the transformations, but they really just didn't believe that it's real. And so right now we're in this contest, the contest that you were one of the first winners to win the 12-day challenge, 15-day challenge. I actually think you did it in like 11 days. And you had one of the most amazing transformations I have ever seen. And I know that took some discipline, focus, and just belief. And wow. So I just really wanted to have people come on here, hear your amazing story, fill us in on how you came here, what brought you to the products, what brought you to where you are today, and just whatever else you want to give us.
Okay. Well,
Anything
first
that
of all,
might.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to just share my story on your platform. Thank you so much. I mean, some of the things that you've done in this business has been amazing. And I mean, it's a real honor. So thank you. My journey like in total life changes really started last year. And so I came into the products really first before the business, right? And so for me, I got into the business because of the products, because what the products did for my life. I don't know if many people know, and I don't really tell this part of my story anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, come in. My grandkids are here, so it's like
You're
this
a grandmother
of 9.
of 9.
Come in. Yes, I got 9 grandkids. The last one is 3 weeks old. Come
Oh my
in, open the
God.
door. And I have 2 of them up visiting from Miami for the holidays. Yes, baby. Grandma is working. What you need? Come
Dr.
here.
Deja, I know we don't supposed to ask this, but do you mind telling us how old you are?
I'm 43. Y'all don't mind her hair. I just took her braids out. Say hi.
Okay. Hey, beautiful.
Hi.
Little fat cheeks.
Grand working. Go ask Amaya to give you some milk. Amaya, help her, please. I'm on
Wow.
a live. Go ahead. Amaya's gonna help you.
Wow, you just gave me a whole new spin, girl.
I think she needs pain, so help her, please. Sorry.
Y'all be patient. She's dealing with the grands.
Yes, I have 2 of them up. They came up Sunday for the holidays, so they here until Saturday. I'm super excited to have them, but they are like spoiled, honey. When I tell you spoiled, they spoiled.
Who did that?
I don't know who did that. But yes, 9 of them, 1 boy, 8 girls. It's crazy. But I mean, with total life changes, so like I said, I really I really don't tell this part of my story anymore because I just kind of want to take it out. I really do. I want to just like take it out, but it is a part of the story because I don't want to keep I just don't want to keep claiming it.
Okay.
You know, so I was diagnosed with stage 3 uterine cancer in 2016. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my husband. I didn't tell my kids until like 6 months later. And the doctors told me when I was first diagnosed that if I did not do chemo and radiation, you know, immediately, like within the next couple of weeks, that I would only have 12 to 18 months to live. And so when someone gives you a time frame on your life, it does something to you mentally. You know, it put me in this place where I wanted to fight, but then I also wanted to just not believe it. And so I really didn't go back to the doctor for 6 months because I was like, they're crazy. And when I finally told my husband, because I was like, I feel fine, right? Like I was dealing with a lot of pain. I was dealing with some craziness in terms of my body, but I felt fine. I didn't look sick. I didn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that. And you know, and my fear was that people were going to begin to treat me different. And I knew that that's what was going to happen. And so when I finally did tell my husband and my family exactly what I thought was going to happen, everybody freaked out. Everybody's like, oh my, and it was like, people were like planning my funeral and like, I'm still here. It was like, that's how it felt. It was like, y'all already done wrote me off. Like,
wow.
because cancer is like this death sentence, right? It does not, that's how people see it. And I am a person who I've always been like adamant about not taking drugs, not taking medicine, there is a long history of drug addiction in my family. And I've always been afraid like to just be addicted to anything. So I don't even want to take a pain pill for pain. Like I don't want to do none of it, right? Like so I'll just deal with the pain. I'll figure out a natural way, like, because I know that addiction is hereditary.
And I'm sorry, let me cut you off. So you have your doctorate. What is your doctorate in? Because you're not taking meds. So what is your doctorate?
No, all my degrees are in education. So I was a teacher for 10 years, a principal for about 7 years, but I have 2 PhDs in education and leadership. So not in medicine.
Okay.
This was just my personal belief. Like I just did not want to take medicine. Like I've always been opposed to it. And a lot of it was because of the history of addiction in my family. My mom dealt with drug abuse, my dad, my grandfather, you know, and I knew that, you know, the addictions are hereditary and it's easier for you to get addicted to something when you have that history of it. So I was just always afraid. And I never wanted to take anything. Like I had all 3 of my kids. I never had an epidural. I didn't have pain medicine during child at birth, like none of that, because I was afraid of that. And so I just did it, you know.
Wow, you better go ahead, Miss Natural.
But you know, so when someone went with like hearing that diagnosis, and then when I finally told my family and seeing how they treated me, they started treating me like I was glass. Like, oh no, don't touch this. No, don't clean this. Oh no, I'm like, hold up now. I'm still me, right? Like I'm still me. I'm still working. I can still cook. I can still do like I'm still me. And like I look good, like nobody would know unless I told them, you know. So I'm like, come on. And so that was the thing that I was afraid of. So then my husband started doing all this research. Every time I would come home from work, it would be papers about another doctor, papers about another treatment. He done went and did, and I'm like, oh my. So to appease him, I went to I saw 2 other doctors, right, for second opinions. The last doctor I saw, it was the Cancer Treatment Center of America in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so they give you a team of doctors. Once they do all your tests, all this stuff, you get a team of doctors. On that team was a holistic doctor. And I call her Dr. Mary. She is a short little Oriental woman who I really think she grew up in the hood around a bunch of Black people. That's how she talks, and that's how she acts. I'm telling you, that's how she older, and I'm like, this lady grew up in the hood, and I be like, man, I know you grew up in the hood. And because she's a holistic doctor, and she was the first one to agree with me and say, we can do it your way. We could try this holistically, because my other doctors were really pushing me, chemo, radiation, you need to do it immediately. Like, and I was just hell bent on it. And like, when they kept saying like, you're going to die. You got a year to 18 months. Oh, Maya, get this baby. She keep knocking on the door.
She said, I want to be in there with the interview.
She do. She want to be right up under me.
Yes.
But she's gonna be touching stuff, and then she gonna start doing she trying to prevent going to sleep.
Okay.
But and so when they told me that, you know, she was the first one to help me really advocate for myself. She was the first one to say, no, we can do it holistically. And so I started looking, that's when I really got deep into like natural products. I started following Dr. Sebi. I started following Dr. Sebi's eating, you know, plan, and to bring my body in a more alkaline state. I went to Honduras twice.
Wow.
To Dr. Sebi's clinic. And stayed for a week.
So you went to the clinic that Lisa Left Eye would go to. So you was able to go to that?
His ex-wife and his daughter and his niece runs it, and his nephew runs it, in his absence. And so yeah, I went twice. And because I was really like, no, I'm about to heal my body naturally. Right. I don't know about what y'all talking about, but I'm not doing no chemo or radiation.
Period.
And so I went, and I went through that whole process with him, and I felt really, really good. And she was the only doctor that really like helped me advocate for myself to do it naturally. And so when I got back, of course, you know, when you fall back into when you start feeling good and you don't feel like you're sick, and you fall back into your work, kids, family,
normal everyday life.
Yeah. Your normal everyday life. Sometimes, like I had went completely vegan. Sometimes you pick up your habits again. So I'm like, oh, okay, a little piece of cheese right here ain't gonna hurt. Okay. A little piece of, you know. And so then I noticed that, you know, my stomach just like I had 9 tumors on my uterus, and I always looked pregnant. And once I got this cancer, before that, I had a flat stomach. I was always a small girl. I was never a big girl. I was never a girl that needed to lose a lot of weight. I was always curvy, you know, thick, but smaller. But my stomach started getting big. Like I looked 6-7 months pregnant all the time. And I would have these horrible, you know, cycles. It was just bad. And so I had fallen off some, you know, in terms of my eating, and I wasn't completely vegan anymore. And so when I got back into research and like, no, I got to get back on track, my doctor was telling me like, come on now, your tumors are constantly inflamed. And when they're inflamed, it's a lot of pain. It would feel like I was having a baby every single day, like pelvic bones opening. Like it just felt like a baby was about to drop out every day. And so I just got heavy back into researching like what I needed to do, and I ran across Total Life Changes. Now I knew Stormy. I grew up with Stormy. I knew Stormy from the hood. Like we grew up right down the street from each other. You know, I'm a little bit older than her, but we stripped in the same strip club. Like I knew Stormy. I used to go to her boutique when she had a boutique in Opalaka and buy clothes from her. Wow. And I knew that she was selling this tea, right? When tea first came out, it was brewed. I used to buy the gallons. I used to meet the little girl at the gas station, buy my little gallon of tea for $20. Wow. And she would already make it. You know, I would do that. But I just never like
took it seriously.
Yeah, I never really took it serious enough. And so when I started researching, I ran across Total Life Changes. I saw Stormy, and then I messaged her, and I was like, hey, like, what's this orange bottle? What's going on? She ain't ever messaged me back. Ain't nobody ever messaged me back.
So hold on. So when was this that when you hit her up? Like how?
This was November of 2019.
Oh wow. But you had did the when you said you was out there with the tea, when was that?
That was like in the beginning. Oh, so that was like that was years ago. Like when when it was like skin tea.
Okay,
that
skin tea movement.
The skin tea movement, and everybody was, all the fine girls was selling the gallons of tea. All the fine girls. They were selling gallons of tea and waist shapers before waist shapers was like really what they is right now. Them girls was selling gallons of tea and waist shapers. And I would meet up with my girl at the gas station, get my little gallon of tea. She would tell me what to do. Yeah. And but I never really like did it enough, seriously. Okay. Right? And so, and that was even before I found out I had cancer. And then after, you know, I kind of forgot about the tea. But when I was researching again, and then I found Stormy again in 2019. Now, mind you, I knew Stormy's story, knew all of that,
Right.
knew she had made a lot of money, but she was Stormy to me. You know what I mean? It was like, but I ain't about to go sell no tea, first of all. I'm a dignified teacher, principal. I ain't about to go sell no tea. It's not about to happen. But I was looking for my health. And I came across, it was the CBD tea. It was the lemon CBD tea. And so I messaged her. I didn't get a message back. And so I just ordered the products. Right, I ordered the I ordered the NRG, the NutriBurst, and I ordered the lemon tea, and I sent it to my doctors first because I was like, I wanted to just make sure it was something that I could take.
Right.
I sent it to them. My doctors, they had it for like 2 weeks, so I was a little nervous. I was like, oh, I ain't heard nothing back. I don't know what's going on. Then I got a call back from them, and they were like, start taking this immediately, like start taking these products, especially the tea. And Dr. Tina, who I love so much, she was like, I'm gonna cash out you the money because we're gonna keep these products. She kept the products and they sent me the money. So I ordered some more products, and that was in December. And then in January, that's when my sponsor, my coach, Kaisha Michelle, she hit me up, but I had already had the products. So I had already started, taking the products, and I noticed immediately with the lemon tea that I had insomnia really bad, and I could not go to sleep at night. And we don't claim to cure or mitigate anything, but I was able to just sleep better. My pain, like the pain I would feel every single day, just like carrying that many tumors around, it started to subside. Like I could really like get through my day without like faking it. You know, I wasn't in as much pain anymore. And I just started to feel better. And I'm talking about in like a matter of like a few days. This wasn't like it took a month. In a matter of like a few days. So I started taking the products in December. I joined the business in January, right? Mm-hmm. I had my 3-month appointment. So I had an appointment in December right before I started taking the products. Did all my tests, did all the tests. I go to the doctor every 12 weeks, every 12 and a half weeks. Did all my tests, everything came back. My tumors were really inflamed. They were like the size of golf balls. So imagine walking around with 9 golf balls in your stomach just every day.
You know what? I'm going to cut you there, Dr. Dashia. One thing I really haven't told many people, some people know, is I had the fibrocystic, whatever, the little, fibroids, right? This was like when I say in my big girl days, because my biggest was at 275.
Wow.
So one thing that affected me was I had fibroids, and then I had a thyroid issue, right? So question for you, because you're more recent, this was like maybe 17 years ago for me. And my fibroid was very small, and nobody, no doctor, anyone could tell me where it came from back then. They just was like, oh, it's hereditary, which my mother did have fibroids. She kind of was like you. She had one that was the size of a 6-month-old. Then they said it was big as 2 or 3 grapefruit.
Wow.
That kind of stuff. And so even my grandmother had it. But I used to ask them, like, what brought it on? I know it's just more than hereditary. So then I went to a couple of holistic doctors, and they told me that, well, with African American women, due to your diets, like eating fried foods, caffeine, things like that, it makes it grow, or it stimulates. So I suffer with the bleeding. I suffered with the bleeding and things like that. And so what did they ever tell you what might have caused your fibroid?
Yeah. For one, it ran in my family, and I didn't know this. I'm an only child, and my mom died when I was 15. So I didn't really know, but I found out later on that when my mom was 29, she had a full-blown hysterectomy because it was traces of uterine cancer. And then I found out that my grandmother was a twin, and her twin passed away. Uterine cancer, same thing. I found out in my dad's mom, who was alive now, but I didn't know none of these people. Like, I hadn't seen my dad forever. I never knew I had sisters till I was like 30, like on my dad's side. And so I didn't know like a lot of my family history.
Mm-hmm.
But I began to find out later, like the cancer runs on both sides of my family. But what my doctor did say to me was, is this type of cancer is more predominant, especially dealing with fibroids, because I dealt with fibroids and all of that stuff. And it's like my cancer came out of nowhere. I had like 6 months. I had a 6 months prior to my diagnosis, I had a biopsy. I would have to get biopsies because my pap smears will always come back abnormal. I had the biopsy. They were concerned about a couple areas, but there was no cancer. 6 months later, it was stage 3 cancer.
Wow.
You know, but they did tell me a lot of the fibroids issues and things happen in African American women because of our diets, and also when we have babies young.
Okay.
It brings it on. So having babies young, like I had my first baby at 14. I was pregnant.
I was pregnant at 14. So
yeah, I was pregnant at 13. I had my baby at 14. And, you know, they said like for a lot of African American women, having babies really young, it puts trauma on your uterus. And then our diets just add to it. And some of it, you know, it is hereditary as well. So all of those things combined, wow, is just not a really great situation, you know. And so I just started noticing, I started feeling better, right, from taking the CBD. I went to my 3-month appointment that March, so March of 2020. Okay. Now, mind you, in December of 2019, my same 9 tumors, they were the size of golf balls. All 9 of them, or some of them were a little bigger, but the average size was like the size of a golf ball, and the density of it, so it was thick and hard and just a lot. Wow. And very concentrated, right, on like one side of my uterus. And so when I went back to the doctor in March, after being on only those 3 products, okay, for like 90 days, a little bit over 90 days, 3 of my tumors were gone.
Wow.
3 of them were gone.
Wow.
And we don't claim to cure or mitigate anything. Yes. But the only thing that changed in my life in those 3 months was that I started eating a little better than I was. Then I had, you know, because I got back bad. I started eating better, and I started taking these products. That was it.
And what products exactly were you taking?
The lemon tea, the lemon CBD tea.
Okay.
The NutriBurst Plus.
Okay.
And the NRG.
Wow.
That was it. That's all I was taking. I hadn't taken nothing, no other products. And 3 of my tumors were gone. And my doctors did test after test after test after test. And they could not figure out why, where they went, what happened. Like, I didn't have a lot of excess bleeding. Like, they measured all of the other tumors to see, because they said sometimes cancer eats itself. And like a tumor could eat a tumor, like they could form together, right? Wow. And so my T1 levels were great. Everything was good. And no, all the other tumors had shrank. They were smaller. So that theory that one ate another, or they combined or grew together, that theory was out the window, because the tumors, the 6 that were left were smaller than they were in December. And so that was like, my doctors were like, oh my, we don't know what you're doing, but just keep doing it. Yes. But they told me, like, and I told them, like, that was right when I was getting ready to start my first 30-33 challenge. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to do this challenge. Like, I talked to my doctors about everything. And we were in a pandemic, so we would meet, the whole team, we would meet on Zoom. I would go to the hospital, do all my tests. They would send them all the results in Atlanta, and then we would meet on Zoom to discuss the results. Wow. And mind you, it's the same team that told me I had 12 to 18 months to live if I didn't do chemo and radiation. To this day, I've never done chemo or radiation.
Wow.
I've never taken one pill from a doctor.
Y'all can't tell me God ain't in these products.
I've never
I'm for
taken one
real.
pill, no chemo, no nothing from the doctor. And I just kept being on my products. I added Blossomy to my regimen this year. And I'm happy to say, like, right now, I only have 4 tumors.
Yes.
From the 9,
Yes.
I only have 4. And so that's how I began to get that confidence that, like, I could change my body. These people told me I could never get my stomach flat. I don't believe them. No, they told me I was going to die in 18 months, and that was 5 years ago, and I'm still here. So let me put their other little theories to the test. And so when the 12-day challenge came, it came at a perfect time for me because, like I was telling Coach Stormy, like in the education world, I'm a really big deal. Like I made a lot of money before coming into TLC. Like I'm a college professor. Like I could walk into, people call me to come get their schools in order. I could walk into a school and just look around for 5 minutes and tell you what's wrong and help the leadership fix it. And so I'm a big deal, but in Total Life Changes, I was just Dashia. I was nobody. You know what I mean? In this
You're
world.
A big deal.
I'm a big damn deal. But you know, when you come into this, it was like, okay, these girls who are much younger than me making a whole lot of money. First of all, because in education, you might be a big deal, but you definitely ain't about to be rich.
Right.
You're not about to be rich. That is a service from your heart.
Right.
And half
underpaid,
of the money
overworked, but y'all are so valued.
Yeah. And half of the money you make, you putting it back into the school, back into the classroom, back into the students. You ain't even taking it home.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't about, so I was, even though I was a big deal, right?
Big deal.
Financially, I made 6 figures. I still, just as fast as it came, it went. It came, it went. And so when I was presented with the opportunity to join the business, of course I did it. I was coming off a time, on a time where I hadn't worked for like 8 or 9 months. Wow. Because the charter school network I worked for, they did this transformation and they laid off they eliminated 139 positions. And my whole team was eliminated. Our whole innovations team was eliminated. And it was the most difficult thing to try to get a job. People would think like, you got PhDs, you could just go back and teach. You could just go back. So I was doing some adjunct professor, but it's hard to get back into the college system full time.
Was this during COVID?
This was the year before COVID.
Okay.
And so it was hard to get back into the system. I had to take my PhDs off of my resume. Wow. In order to get a job, because people kept saying you're overqualified and we can't afford you. So I had to take them off to get a job. I did land a great job that I love so much, 6 figures. It was great. It was a pay cut, but still, it was, I loved my job. But in February, I gave my job back. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm gonna just focus on Total Life Changes and do some other stuff. But it was mainly because the products, man. So when this 12-day challenge came, although I was making a lot of money retail, I still was not my normal Dashia confident self, walking into TLC events, walking into rooms. You know what I mean? It was just, I just didn't have it anymore. That I could walk in still to an education conference and have that. But in this arena, people think this, when you're confident, you're just confident in every area of your life. And that's not always true. Right. Sometimes, and a lot of it had to do with because my stomach, that I was very self-conscious about my stomach. And I'm walking into this room and people might, a little bit of people might know your name. Yeah, you might make a lot of money in retail, but every time you talk to a customer, you showing them somebody else's transformation picture. Yeah, you had a little transformation, right? You lost some of your stomach when some of the tumors left, but still, some of this part up here, like, you can't blame that on the tumors.
Yes.
Like, who you finna blame that on? That's some of Dashia. You got to work on that. And so the challenge came at the perfect time where it was like, I believe I could change my body. I've done more than what the doctor said I could do.
Yes.
So I'm about to challenge them on this. And I'm tired of showing my customers other people's transformations. I want to be able to show my own. I want them to be able to see, like, I don't want to just say, because cancer is an invisible thing. And when you look good, people just assume you good, right? It's not like you got a leg missing or an arm missing and people could clearly see. People just like, girl, you look fine. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. And so I can't be like, well, I lost, you know, and you can't even say like, well, I lost 5 tumors. Like we don't claim, we can't say we cure or mitigate anything. I can't attribute that to the products, even though I know what it was. I know it was the products of God, but you can't do that. Right. And so I'm like, damn, like, yeah, it's great that I can show them Sheila Monique, I can show them Tammy, I can show them Latavia, I can show them all these people, but damn, what about you, Dashia? You know what I mean? What about you?
Yes.
You know, and I felt like I don't really want to lose weight because, baby, I don't want to lose my booty. So I'm not trying to lose, I'm trying to lose no weight, but I can lose this stomach. And so I really took that 12 days personal. Like for me, it was like, forget these doctors. Every time I did a sit up and it would hurt and I didn't feel like it, I'm like, these doctors, they gotta go to hell, like for real. And that's really what I was focused on. I was focused on just getting me back. I didn't want to walk in any more rooms, shuffling my clothes, feeling uncomfortable, feeling less than. I just didn't. And when Coach Stormy asked me that day if I was pregnant, baby, Dad put the icing on the cake. Coach Stormy and like gripped my stomach. You know how Coach gripped my stomach.
I know how she talked to me about my little bit of excess weight.
But she gripped my stomach. She was like so concerned. She gripped my stomach. She was like the picture that I put up, that is the exact moment, really. And it was, somebody caught it on Coach Tammy's live, when she asked me for her. Everybody's face was mortified. Everybody was like, oh my God.
I love her.
I was like this, like clutching my pearls. I was like, oh my God, Coach, no. But I didn't get offended.
No,
I didn't get mad that she asked me that. I didn't, my feelings wasn't hurt that she asked me that. I got angry at myself. I got really mad, and I said, you know what? Only so much of this you can blame on cancer. Some of this shit is you. You know you eating them that darn butter pecan Haagen-Dazs at night at 11 o'clock, and then you lay down and go straight to sleep. You know you doing that. You know you putting way too much cheese on this stuff. Like, you know, like you can't blame this on nothing else. This is all Dashia's doing. So what you gonna do about it? Yeah. And I made a decision that night. I said, when I realized after the thing was over and I went to take a picture and I turned to the side and shuffled my shirt. I said, this is the last fucking time I do this.
I know that's right.
This is the last time I have to shuffle and fix my clothes and turn a certain way. I'm not doing this no more. And so I said, she ain't never gonna be able to ask me that again. She's never going to be able to ask me that again. And I got committed, and I started then. I didn't really go hard, but I started eating right, and I started doing what I needed to do. So, because I knew the next time I saw her, she wasn't going to ask me that. So we went to her house, and I made sure I wore all white, because you can't hide nothing in white.
Okay. I wouldn't even wear white.
You can't hide nothing in white.
You can't.
And she said to me, she walked by, and she turned around, and she said, you lost weight. You look good. And in my mind, all I said was, all right, it's over. We could go now. This is all I came for.
That's all you need to.
That's all I needed to hear, because I was committed to making sure she never asked me that again. You never going to think I'm pregnant again. And so when the 12-day challenge came, I was like, I'm going to make her a believer for real this time. I don't know how I'm about to do it or what I'm about to do, but it came at the perfect time when Coach Tammy fast was ending, and the challenge started on the last day of the fast. And I just said, I'm going to keep eating how I've been eating on these last 3 days of the fast. This is how I'm going to eat. I'm going to take my products. I'm going to add Slim PM. I'm going to go hard in my workouts. And I'm going to change. I'm going to have my own damn transformation picture.
Period.
And that's all I focused on. That's all I focused on.
You did. And I want to talk about just a piece that we just talked about a while ago. You lost your stomach, right? And this is one thing that I deal with some ladies, and I try and tell them, our products to me seem like it pulls from the stomach first. Like a lot of us ladies, especially a lot of us African-American Black women, we concerned about losing our curves, losing our butt, losing it. I've seen you where you still, like, we saw each other first time, was it Atlanta or was it Houston?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
It might have been Atlanta.
Yeah. And you were shapely like me, and then you lost the weight and you still are shapely. So a lot of people are so concerned, and I try and tell them, like, baby, it's gonna come from the stomach. What do you think about it? Because I've seen it in your experience and many others.
Yeah.
But
in my experience, I say, like you said, it comes from the stomach first. And then it's all about the workouts that you do too, because you can maintain your stuff. You just gotta, if you're trying to make sure you don't lose your booty, make sure you do some squats a lot. Do them little donkey kick things they call. You know, do that to target your glutes and target your butt. But I don't feel like I feel like what happened was when I lost my stomach, it made my arch deeper.
Yeah.
Which makes my butt look bigger. So
yes. I be trying to tell ladies that sometimes our butts, because you know a lot of us worried about the butt, it's hidden with that excess layer of fat.
It is. It is. And I noticed like I always had a deep arch, and so it feels like I'm walking like this. Or it looks to me like I'm walking like this. It looked like that, but to me, I feel like I'm standing up. But I have scoliosis too, so I got this curve in my back. It's like I got a lot going on, child.
Girl, what's up with scoliosis? What is up with scoliosis and women with arch? Because I don't know. I got scoliosis.
Yes, and it makes your arch so much deeper. It's like if I lay down, my back don't touch it's like up. Right. It's like you could stick a pillow or whatever through there. It don't touch.
You got to show.
And so, and my hips are not aligned perfectly. My hips are like this. So it's like when people be like, "Oh, you walk it so hard, you twist so hard." I'm like, "Child, blame it on my hips and go talk to Jesus. I don't got nothing to do." I walk how I walk. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like people always, you got a stank walk. I don't even know what that means. I just walk how I walk.
Wow, I learned a lot from this. Like I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but that arch, man, is like, people want that arch, but that arch hurt. That junk hurt.
That pay for that arch. That arch hurts.
You gonna pay for it for real. That arch hurt, and so like I noticed that like when I lost my stomach more, it made my arch feel deeper. Okay. And I noticed like it made when I lost this part, these fat rolls and stuff on the side, it made me, I already have a long torso, but it made my torso even look longer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it did so many things to my body, but what it did for me mentally and emotionally is way more than what it did to my body. Way more.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Can you give us quickly, and I don't want to hold you too much on, what products did you take in this? I know we're in the midst of second day on this new transformation. For the last transformation, period. For the last transformation, can you give us a quick rundown of the products you use?
I know close friends be saying, it's just the 3, just do 3. I took more than 3 products. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So my regimen was in the morning, I take my NRG. Of course, I take my Blossomy, which really has nothing to do with the challenge, but I take my Blossomy, I take my complex and my gut check. Right. Gut check. I'm just telling you, if you don't take gut check and you're trying to get rid of your fupa, take you some gut check.
Okay.
So I gut check, and then I did, of course, the fruit punch tea, and then Slim PM. Slim PM is a game changer because it's burning calories while you're sleeping.
Okay.
I just mix my Slim, like the Slim PM here right now. I put my Slim PM with my tea at night.
Okay.
And I use the fruit punch tea, but I don't put my tea in water like this. I put my tea in brewed tea. So I brew my tea. I brew a gallon of tea for the week, and I pour my brewed tea. And then I pour my sachets. Like, no, I don't add any additional water. And when I brew my tea, I brew the whole thing in the gallon of water. I let it in the whole gallon of water. I don't add no additional water to it. I just put it in the fridge and I use it just like that. I use it just like that. I put fresh fruit in my brewed tea, especially like mango. blueberries and strawberries, they also help with the digestion process. So it helps the tea work even better. So I brew my tea with that. I don't, and when I use it, I sometimes I eat the fruit as well, because that helps. That helps with that process. But that's what I did. That Slim PM and the gut check really made a huge difference. Really made. If you have trouble getting all your greens and stuff, fight is another big one. Like I would do fight shakes in the morning, and that fight is no joke. Like it's no joke. It gets you all your nutrients, and then it helps the tea work because it's running through you just like greens.
Yes.
and you getting it all out. But I try to tell people all the time, your stomach is made in the kitchen. Our products are amazing, but what you eat, that makes a huge difference when it comes to losing your belly fat. A lot of women feel like a lot of women are able to lose their stomach because they're not able to stop putting stuff in their mouth. It's certain things you got to stop putting in your mouth, because it don't matter how much you detox. It don't matter how much you work out. It don't matter how much you do whatever. If you eat in the wrong foods, it's going to make it 10 times harder for you to lose your stomach.
Absolutely. How much water you drink?
Oh, I drink, so I pour all my water in here. I drink, and it can hold like a whole bottle of Fiji. So I drink about, I drink one of these every hour, starting from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. And Alexa tells me every hour on the hour is drink water. You know,
like Erica.
Here's something I found on the web.
Oh, girl, Alexa, stop.
Okay, look at mine. Alexa was going. When you said Alexa, it triggered mine.
Mine too. But I have it set up to remind me drink water every single hour. So I drink more than a gallon. So if I'm drinking, this is 500 milliliters.
Right.
So I drink about 12 of these a day, because I'm up at 5:45 in the morning. My first one is drink at like 7. So from 7 till 10 at night. So I drink about 13 or 14 of these bottles every day.
You better go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's 500 milliliters each. So 13, 14, 13.
Almost 2 gallons. So that's like Erica, the other transformation runner with you. She told me she do about 2 gallons a day. And I'm like,
yeah, girl, this is an expensive ass habit. Let me tell you something. Drinking 13 of these, because the box only comes with 24 in it, and the box is like $23. Yes. So I go through a box of Fijis like every 2 days.
Girl, you rich. You gotta look. You're a rich woman. Yes.
I'm like, honey, BJ's. I know BJ's is sick of me. I know they're sick of me because I'm always in there. Like, and the lady say, "Why don't you just buy a pallet?" I say, "Cause I can't buy no whole pallet. Where I'm gonna put it at? Girl. I gotta come get like 6 boxes at a time. Just mind your business."
Dang, I gotta get like you. I'm working on getting consistently a gallon. But I got to take my water intake up. Wow. You just inspired me again.
Yeah, just set your Alexa up to remind you.
Okay. That's what
what mine do. I'm telling you, when I be on live, when I be doing anything, she very rude. She just probably time to drink water. Nasty. Time to drink water. Like, she don't care what you doing, what's going on. She's going to remind you to drink that water. And so I just know, okay, now I got an hour to finish this bottle of the water. So like before 10, I gotta finish the rest of this before 10, and still drink my tea.
Well, look, it's 9:46, and I don't want to hold you up from drinking your water and get your stuff in your tea. But I appreciate you so much for coming on here and telling your story, just your experience with these products, how you came to TLC, just everything. It really blown my mind, and have you given me so many gems. You've given us so many gems. I appreciate you so much. I really do. And I'm grateful to be connected.
Yes, thank you. You in the A? You in Atlanta?
I'm right downtown Atlanta.
Girl, we got a link. I'm in Atlanta
now. Okay, so we got the link.
We gotta do something. Yes, me, you, we need to do an event or something together, girl.
We got it. We gonna talk.
Let's talk. Yes.
Right.
Thank you so much for having me, Crystal.
Oh, y'all, and she got a book. She got books.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell us about it.
I got so much stuff going on, y'all. So here's my book.
All right.
It's called She's on Purpose, Journey to Discovering Your Purpose. It is out on Amazon Prime right now. And this one is already because we writing in it. So I actually do a book read every single morning at 7 a.m. from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on live. We've read 3 books so far this month. We read like 2 books every single month on live. And so the 3rd book, so we're actually doing my book now. Today was the 2nd day where we started my book. This is like a workbook to really help you go through and discover and figure out what your purpose is, right? And help you begin to walk in your purpose. And so it's on Amazon Prime right now. If you type in She's on Purpose, it'll come up. I mean, if you got Prime, you can get it in like a day or 2.
All right.
But it really is to help people kind of discover like who they are, whose they are, what they were created to do, and really have the courage to begin to walk into that purpose. And so it's a really big deal for me. It's the same process that God really took me through to help me discover and figure out what my purpose was. And I can honestly say I'm fully walking in my purpose, and it feels amazing. You know, it really does feel amazing. And I just want to help people be able to do the same thing, right? And so that's what that book is about. And I got so many other things in the works. Like I have a journal that's about to come out soon. Okay. It's a meditation and mindfulness journal. And it teaches people about meditation and different types of meditation and things and journaling. And then it gives you months of pages to really write your experience in meditation. So if you're meditating and you're asking God for things, sometimes God is giving you clues in your meditation. You do what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're hearing. And nobody writes that stuff down anywhere.
Nope, I don't.
And so this whole journal, this journal is for you to be able to write down. It has a spot. It says, you know, today is my day. And this is how the journal page is kind of designed. And it has a spot for you to write your 3 affirmations for that day, and the things that you're grateful for that day. And then a space for you to write your experience from meditation, what you see, what you hear, and I did that. I created this because when I meditate with Coach Stormy in the morning, every time we're done meditation, I'm writing. I'm on live. So I'm writing, and then people just start asking me, like, what are you writing? What is that? Because in my mind, I just thought, well, everybody do this.
Yes.
But everybody don't do that. I got to remember that I'm a journaler. I've been journaling my whole life. And journaling is how I kind of get through things and work through things. And I just assume everybody do this, right?
Right.
And so when I got so many, I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
How are people, like, if you've been meditating for a year, like how long we've been meditating, how you remember what happened last October? What if God gave you a clue then that has then he gonna answer it now and give you, how you gonna know? True. How you gonna remember? You can't. You gotta write it down. And so that's why I created this journal. You know, to have a space that's specific for meditation, for people to be able to write down their experiences and the clues, and because so many things I got in meditation are now coming to fruition in my life. So many answers that I you know, to questions that I had. And you don't know when God is going to give you the answer. You don't know when you're going to get the answer, and how you going to remember it if you don't write it down.
Here.
So that journal is about to come out. I will hopefully have a date. It was supposed to come out 11/11, okay, but I'm not going to put out work that's not the way that I really want it to be. And my publishing company wasn't going to be able to publish it the way that I wanted it to be published. So I'm like, oh, we'll wait. Okay. So I'm looking at it coming out, you know, in the beginning of December, so people can get it for Christmas. Okay. That's the goal. So I got that. And then I got this course too. I'm gonna tell you this one last thing. I got this course that I want people like, this is the thing. When I did this challenge, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why I was successful in this challenge was because I believed that I could be. It started with me believing that I could change my body. Because mind you, I've been on these products since last year, right? Well, we're technically December of 2019. I've been in the business since January of 2020. So you're talking about almost 2 years. And I had a slight transformation last year, working out, but nothing this major, right? And the difference was I was believing the story that the doctors were telling me. I was believing that I couldn't change my body, that I couldn't get my stomach flat, that I couldn't do all those things. And the moment I began to switch that belief and say, forget that, I'm going to tell myself my own story. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to write my own story.
Yes.
And I changed my belief. When I changed my belief, my actions changed.
Yes.
My
actions,
get
that. Yes.
Right? And so what's stopping a lot of us in our lives, in our businesses, it's our belief system. A lot of the things that we believe, we were not even given those beliefs. Like they're beliefs from our parents, from our grandparents, from our teachers, from other people. Some of us are studying a religion, or we say we're a Christian, or we're this, because
preach.
That's what our parents were. That's what our whoever were. We didn't really go figure this out on our own, what we really believed on our own. A lot of us go around telling our kids or other people, what happens in my house, stay in my house, because we were taught that. It might not even be what we really believe in, but we were taught that. So we're walking around with other people's beliefs, trying to live our life and get our life where we want it to be, when those are not the beliefs that's going to be able to take us there.
Yes.
I can't, you know,
yes.
we have some
repeat
women.
That again. Hold on. Repeat that one piece again.
It's true, because we're walking around with other people's beliefs, with beliefs that we've been given, and we're trying to develop this life, right? Or design this life, or get to this place in life, and those beliefs are not going to be able to take us there. We have beliefs about money that were given to us from broke people. Woo. And we talk about we want to be millionaires. How you going to be a millionaire with the broke people's beliefs?
Mindset. Yes.
You cannot. They believed for that. They believe you go to school, you get a good job, and then we're walking around. We never did anything with those beliefs. We never questioned them. We never got rid of them and developed new beliefs, but we just started creating all this other stuff. It's like you saying these affirmations. Like I was telling my live this morning. I am not surprised when things show up in my life anymore, because I believe for it. I speak it, and I expect it to happen. So I'm not surprised. I don't know when it's going to show up, but I know that it will. Like I knew that Coach Stormy would be discussing me because if you ever heard my affirmations in the morning, one of my affirmations say, every time I am hard to forget. Every time I think about Coach Stormy and I think about Coach Tammy and other mentors, they think about me. Every time I'm having conversations about how to help other people, they're having conversations about how to help me. My name is being spoken in rooms I've never entered.
Y'all
I say those. I say those every day. And I tell you no lie. That day I got on live, Coach Stormy called me on live. She said, I was just talking about you with Portia. She was talking, every time I talk about her, she talk about me. Every time I think about how to help her, she think about how to help. Those are the things I speak out of my mouth. So it wasn't a surprise to me, because that's what I believe for. So the things that are showing up in my life, I believe for them. I had to believe that I could change my body first. I had to believe that those things could happen. So I have a course that's called Crushing Limiting Beliefs, to teach people how to get over. It goes over 14 of the limiting beliefs that stop us from getting to where we really want to be. We can't say we want to be millionaires, but then we think, well, no new friends. How you want to be a millionaire and you got a mindset of no new friends? It ain't going to happen. That's just not going to happen. How you going to say, you know, you got in your affirmations, you want to be this Proverbs 31 woman and wife and all it is, but then you got the mentality that your mom and your grandma has given you, that I don't need no man.
You better preach.
I don't care what kind of affirmations you speaking. If you don't check your belief system, it's not gonna happen. Because your beliefs drive your actions. When you start, if you don't believe that it's right to steal out of the store, you're not gonna go steal out of the store.
Absolutely not.
But if you believe it's okay, then you'll do it.
Absolutely.
If you believe, like, well, stealing out of the store ain't hurting nobody. My mama used to do it. Whoever used to do it, I'm gonna do it. So I do it. You know what I mean? And we don't question a lot of these beliefs. So I have a course that's all about helping people really examine the belief systems that they have and get rid of those belief systems and develop new belief systems that are going to help them get to where they really want to be. And so that course is out. All of the stuff I'm telling you about is in the link in my bio. You can
Okay, great. Okay, because I was going to ask you, how can we get there? So
yeah, you can get it. Click the link in my bio and just hit direct links, and you can see the course. You can see I have a one-day mastermind that I'm doing here in Atlanta at a private location. For a small group of people, 10 to 15 people. It's a one-day mastermind to really help you prepare. We going into the season where people are going to be writing their goals and all this stuff for the new year, right? But how you writing your goals when you don't know your purpose?
Hold on.
How you writing your goals when you ain't even formulate your business properly? People are gonna get ready to go into tax season and their business is not formulated properly. They about to pay all kinds of taxes because they ain't got their stuff right. They have no plan, no plan to get customers, to keep customers, like nothing. And so the goal of this one-day mastermind is to help people develop a workable plan. They should leave here with a plan that they can actually put into action. Not no theories, not no thoughts, not no actual plan. So that's why I'm keeping it to 10 to 15 people. If they're in total life changes, I'll be going through their back office with them, showing them what they need to do to get to where they need to be. If they're not in total life changes, if they don't have their business structure, I'll be going through my LLC university with them to help them figure out what they need to get structured properly as a business. But we got to get our stuff in order, man. We can't be speaking affirmations about I'm a millionaire and I'm breaking generational curses and we don't even got our stuff structured properly.
Yeah.
We can't do it. So I just want to help people get their stuff in order, get their mind right, get their body right. And that way, all these affirmations you speak out of your mouth, they will be able to come to pass. You know what I mean? Because you will have your stuff in order to do it. But if you ain't got your stuff in order, like affirmations don't work like that.
They don't.
They don't work like that. They don't. So I'm excited about all of that, man. And thank you so much, Crystal, for letting me share that on your platform, because it's really just meant to really help people. I'm gonna tell you this one quick story before we go, related to beliefs, and this is why I really did it. So you might have heard this before, because I heard a couple authors and other people read. I just put my own twist on it. So there was a woman cooking, like we about to cook Thanksgiving dinner, right? And say she was cooking a turkey or whatever she was cooking, but she will always cut off the front part and the back part of the roast or whatever, right? And put it in the oven to cook it. And the husband asked her, like, why are you doing that?
I know this story, girl.
You know this, right?
Go ahead, give it to
like,
me.
Why are you doing that? Why are you wasting the meat?
The meat.
She's like, I don't know. This is what my mama did.
Yeah.
Ask your mama and find out why she did it. The mama say, well, I don't know. This is what my mama did. And then the grandma is like, well, when I was growing up, the ovens were thin and the whole meat couldn't fit in the oven. So we had to cut it off to make it fit. And I'm like, well, our ovens are not like that anymore. They're big, they're wide, they can fit this. Why are we doing it? But that's a prime example of us doing something and that believing something from someone else when it was necessary then and it's not necessary now, but you're still doing it because you never questioned the belief. You never questioned why you're doing that. And then you wonder why your life not turning out the way you wanted to turn out, because you living off of beliefs that were necessary 30 years ago, but they're not necessary right now. Yes. They're not going to be able to take you where you need to go right now. So you need to get rid of those beliefs so you can walk into what you need right now. Yes. Stop doing stuff the way grandma did it. That don't apply no more. Life is different now.
It don't apply.
That stuff don't apply. So I wanted to say that because some people like, well, I don't got no beliefs. I have a free test on my website. It's called a Crushing Limiting Beliefs Exam. It's free. You download it. You take it real quick. It's just yes or no. If you answer yes to any question on there, you need to be in the course.
Some folks
if you answer yes to anything, yes, you need to be in the course. If you answer no, then you perfect. You better be a millionaire if you answer no.
Yes.
But if you answer yes to anything, then you need to take the course. And it's not just like a course. It's me teaching the course. It is me teaching, going over every lesson. You got homework, it's assignments, and it's a self-paced course. So it's not like it's not a live, you got to catch. It's not a certain time you got to do it. You do it on your own time. You do it at your own pace. But you got to do the actions. You got to do the work. you know, because you ain't gonna just be able to read some or listen to me teach and then say, okay, that belief's gone. It don't work like that. You gotta do the work.
I love that. I love that you have an assessment of your beliefs, because that's the first part. You gotta assess what you really believe in. It is it really beneficial for you? But some people don't even want to assess it off the rip.
Nope.
They just,
because they don't want to tell themselves the truth. We don't like to tell ourselves that we wrong. Sometimes when you see a pattern popping up in your life, sometimes it ain't the other people, it's you. Sometimes it's you. So you got to examine it. So that test is there. It's free, you know, for people to take so that you can really examine it. And for me, the course is definitely not about money, because I get fussed at almost every day from my mentors that the course is too cheap. They're like, why is this course this price? And I'm like, this what, you know.
Girl, you got to assess that price.
They tell me that all the time, like, girl, listen, you need that. But I don't know. Until God tell me, I'm really tight with it. But definitely,
go get on the link, y'all. I'm gonna go get on it because I need to assess my beliefs again.
And I'm telling you, I do it all the time.
Yeah, because we can do that. We could fall straight into that lack mindset of them old beliefs real easy.
Yep.
And then I got to pull myself back out. But I'm going to go click on the link myself. Y'all do the same thing. Get her book. Get the journal. It's coming out in December. I done bought several books. Y'all better go buy this book that's coming out. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Bye, y'all. Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday.